I need to put a banner up ideally. Okay. Morning, good afternoon, evening, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. God bless you, man. Okay. We have a fantastic live stream ahead of us this next 20 to 30 minutes. So relax, up a chair, grab yourself a cup of tea, a coffee, whatever it is you do to relax, okay? Because what you're about to hear for the next 20 minutes is truly some amazing, remarkable news. Amazing, remarkable news, okay? I am checking that I'm live as we speak at the moment right now. So we're just going to check if somebody could actually check while you're on the call. That would be great. And see if we are live. So in the meantime, as usual, as I say on all my lives, smash the like button when you come in, please. Let us all know, including everybody else coming back to watch the replay, that you can hear us loud and clear. That would be absolutely fantastic. Because a massive announcement in terms of this world, how we're going to change the world, what we're going to do to help the world, and what we're going to do to help people get out of their pain. So you may know somebody that's watching this right now. You may know somebody that's in some type of condition, in some type of pain, has some type of injury. You may know somebody that you may want to help or you may want to share this with, okay? Obviously, if you're watching this on somebody's wall, okay, please make sure you get back to that person in their inbox because I'm sure they might be sharing it on their wall, okay? But this is truly groundbreaking news that we're going to be releasing here. Something that I've been a part of for quite some time now, quite a few months, okay? It's my main source of income, but it's not about income. It's about helping people manage their pain, okay? So we've got lots of people on the call by the looks of it. I'm just double checking that I am actually live. And I'm coming through loud and clear. Yeah, I am. Okay, so we've got Sharon on the call as well, which is great. Thanks for coming on the call, Sharon. Feel free to drop a comment for every single person that comes on the call. Here's a little instruction. If you know any of the people that you see on this call right now, if you know them or you've ever worked with them in any way, shape or form, drop a 1 below so they can see, obviously, who you are, etc. If you don't know them and you literally just come on their wall for the very first time, then drop a number 2 below, okay? All right, so you don't need to necessarily announce who you are. It just means that they will recognize you also as well, okay? So fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. Lots of people on the call, which is great. So where do we get started? Where do we get started with this amazing news that we've got to share with you today? 9 people on the call. That's great. Keep coming in, people. That's absolutely fantastic. So I'm not going to start with my story first of all, okay? I'd like to start with somebody else. We came across a business. We came across a scientific breakthrough a few months ago. I shared it with my girlfriend. Then we both decided to share it with everybody else. Before you know it, 4 months later, we've got a huge team below us that are actually helping people all over the world, freeing them of their pain. Okay, let's face it. Let's get down to reality. We can make as much money in the world, can't we? But if you haven't got your health, it's no good. It's no good because your health makes you the person that you are each day, with mental clarity and your physical ability also as well. Now, I want to introduce a young lady. I'm gonna put her on the spot, okay? But I want to introduce a young lady called Linda, who was introduced to this amazing opportunity by Mr. John Bone. That he sat there with a huge smile, rightly so, okay? And she's just going to share just a bit of content in terms of what this opportunity is. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the name of the company or the product. We're just going to talk about basically what it is and how it's helped us in so many ways. Without further ado, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please, Linda, let everybody know where you're from, and if you could just go through your story, that'd be great if you've got one to share.
All right. So I am from Montana, but this summer we are working at West Yellowstone in a KOA, and I was introduced, as you said, by John to our patches, and that was back in February. So started using them then, and have had great results with that. I had something a little different that I wanted to share this morning. With all of the success that we've had with reducing pain and so many other benefits, my husband twisted his back a couple of days ago, and he had been using the patch to help with everything else, and it was working great. But that particular twist to his back was nagging him, and so we have a couple other patches that are helpful in reducing pain from an injury like that. And he used those two patches, and his pain in his back that he twisted went from a 10 down to a 5 within a very short time. And I can't say enough good things about these patches. They just help us so much. I've been using the patches now. We've both been wearing them for 4 months, and I'm 69 years old, and life just gets better and better and better. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Fantastic. That's absolutely amazing. Sorry, I'm listening back to you here. I'm going to get these earphones out. Okay. What an amazing story. Amazing. No chemicals, no drugs, no side effects. I mean, what's the short story about your husband with his guitar playing, Linda? What, didn't he have a condition with his fingers or something?
For his guitar playing, I think is what you said. I'm having a bit of a problem hearing you. So, but this is a couple of months now that he loves to play the guitar, and hadn't been able to for several years because his fingers had gotten very stiff. And again, we're aging, so that's kind of to be expected. But once we started using the patches, he picked up his guitar, and I didn't even realize, that it helped with that until he started playing. Which, if you go back up, ways up on my wall, you can see that particular video. That was the very first really amazing thing for me to see. So, yeah, that was just a wonderful experience.
It was an amazing story. It really was great to share, because I'm sure there's plenty of musicians out there, coming from the music industry myself, it's an importance, having your fingers working to the best of your ability, having your body working to the best of your ability. And that includes singing also as well. We're getting some great testimonials from singers also as well, I believe. So it's a fantastic news, Linda. It's really, really pleasing to know that a patch with no drugs, no chemicals, a natural way to heal ourselves is helping you and your family. It's truly changing so many people's lives. It's quite extraordinary, isn't it? It really is quite extraordinary. So fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Somebody coming along to this video is definitely going to know somebody that has an injury, that has a condition. Okay. The only question throughout this live that you need to ask yourself is, do you want to go down to the chemist, buy drugs, okay, that is probably going to manage your pain to a certain degree, but all drugs come with side effects. We know that, that's basic knowledge. Most drugs come with side effects, okay? This is a massive breakthrough to the health industry as far as I'm concerned, because this scientist behind this is absolutely amazing, because he's patented these also as well. So that means there's no competition. There's nobody else out there doing what we are doing, okay? So obviously, if you're intrigued and you want information, by all means, get back to the person, obviously, that referred you to this video. Moving on to our next guest, okay? Moving on to our next guest, you'll definitely learn some valuable information during this live. So obviously, stay tuned, and I hope you've got that cup of tea and the kettle's brewing. Now,
yeah, Steve, All right, Gary.
Right, so moving on to the next person, let's go over to the USA, okay? Linda, where are you from, very quickly again? Can you hear me, Linda?
Yeah, I think Linda's having a bit of trouble. David, can you mute out, buddy? What we need to do is just make sure that the screen shares, because we can't actually see Paula at the moment, Jace. Linda is in Montana in the USA.
Okay.
Although she spends a lot of her year actually traveling around the USA with her husband in their camper van. So I'm very envious of the life they lead. Just one more screen share, buddy, where you can have all 6 of us in equal proportion.
Yeah, I'm just trying to move it now. It looks like
oh, where's Paula gone?
Paula's disappeared. Yeah, it looks like Paula's disappeared. Okay, she'll be back. She'll be back. Right. Okay. So swiftly moving on. Let's go over to the USA. We've lost Linda again as well. All right. This is live. This is live. Okay. So this is no made up video or anything. We're not actors, you know. Moving on to the USA. Lisa Anderson. Lisa Anderson is a colleague and a personal friend of mine that joined, obviously, this opportunity just under a couple of months ago. She's getting some amazing results. She's going to tell you her story and give you some examples of what experiences she's gone through, because it's important to listen to different people's stories of different conditions and different physical injuries that they've had. You know, that's important. You know, we're not just talking about fixing one condition here or one injury. Okay, so Lisa Anderson, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the call.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Lisa Anderson, and I am from the USA. I'm up in Connecticut. I'm right around the corner from Yale University. I know you guys probably know what Yale is, you know, the hoorah college, you know, woo-woo. I'm right around the corner. I'm in walking distance to Yale. Well, anyway, I started my journey with these fabulous patches a few months back, like Jay said, and at the time, I had shoulder pain and carpal tunnel. I think my shoulder pain came from, some of you guys know I have triplets. They're 20 years old now, but you know, over the years, it was a lot of picking up kids and diaper bags and all kinds of stuff. So I think it threw my shoulder out a little bit. So I had some, you know, pretty significant pain in my shoulder. But when I started using the patches, I noticed the first thing I noticed was my shoulder wasn't hurting. And also I didn't have any carpal tunnel pain anymore, which was huge because it could get pretty painful. And I'm right-handed. So, you favor that side. So the pain was pretty significant. So the patch really helped me out with that pain, that shoulder pain, and the pain right in the front area. So it was like pretty painful. But the biggest thing for me is a few months back, I took a family trip down to North Carolina. It took us about 12 or 13 hours, unfortunately. It normally doesn't take that long, but the traffic was crazy. But I get really bad motion sickness, like on the plane, in the car, on rides at the amusement park, everything. So I patched up before we took the trip, and I had no motion sickness at all. And that was so huge for me because it's pretty pathetic how motion sickness I get. Like I need the bag in the car, like a plastic bag. I need a towel. I need water. I need something minced to put in my mouth because I just start salivating. It's pretty disgusting. So I was super excited that I had no motion sickness issues at all because I patched up before we went on our family vacation. I'm super excited. Yay! So I'm very happy and I'm very pleased with my results.
Fantastic. What a great story. I'm really pleased to hear that, Lisa, because I remember you talking about that, saying that the patch had helped you with certain things. And I remember you writing a status saying, actually, the real test is when I've got a trip in a few weeks' time. Then we're going to see how good it is, you know? And I was really looking out for that results on that. So that's absolutely fantastic. I've got to ask you this question, Lisa, right? Because, you know, everybody gets asked this question, you know, because we're talking about a patch. Yeah, let's get down to it. We're talking about a patch that goes on the skin, no chemicals, no products, no drugs, as I said before, right? So sometimes it's hard for people to get their head around that because they're so used to putting drugs in their mouth, okay? Whether it be a chemical, whether it be a protein shake, whether it be a health drink, you know? Because the way I look at it, I'll be honest, you know, this is revolutionary. Okay,
Yes.
we, you know, in terms of the health industry, etc., this is massive, absolutely huge. But getting to the point, you'd heard all these stories before you came into this business, and obviously you had your own conditions and your families, etc. Everybody's got some type of injury or whatever, you know.
Right, right.
When you put it on and that injury started to phase and started to drift off and go as it does, all right, did you start to sort of question yourself and think, hang on a minute, am I imagining this? Or
Right. I sure did. I was like, no way. I didn't believe it because first of all, when it was introduced to me, when you and Paula introduced it to me, I was like, no way. There's no way it works that quick. You know, and so me being nosy Nelly, I said, well, I'm going to check it out for myself because I just knew I was going to come back to you and say, get out of here. I tried it. That stuff doesn't work. So when I got it and I placed it on the back of my neck, and all of a sudden, I didn't feel the pain in my shoulder. I was like, wait a minute. At first, I thought it was all in my head. You're right. I was like, no way. This is all in my head. My shoulder still hurts. I just think it doesn't hurt. So yes, it was shocking. It was shocking. I was like, there's no, and it was quick. That was really shocking because it was so fast. Not so much that the pain went away, but it went away really quick. And so, yes, I was pretty shocked. Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's a cool feeling. But what about, last final question, we're going to move on. Because obviously you've tried other people, your family members. I believe you've tried one of your family members.
Yes, my mom. Yeah, for her back, which her back is pretty severe. She has arthritis and she has some degenerative disc from disc 12 down. So it was pretty painful when she was hardly getting out of the bed. So of course I patched her and the patches are helping her a whole lot. Now with my mom, I'm not going to say the pain is gone all the way, but it has subsided to the point where it, you know, she can function in her life.
Fantastic. How does that make you feel, Lisa? Knowing you
feel great. Yeah, that makes me feel great because, you know, I don't know if you know, but, you know, it's hard to take care of a parent and you don't want to see them in pain. And she's going to be 79 years old on the 4th of July this year. And so, you know, I'm keeping an eye on her and I just want her to be as pain-free as possible for the rest of her life. And the patches helping her. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Lisa. That's so important. That's key, that is, because it's interesting the feeling we get as people that represent this amazing company. It's a great feeling we get. I don't know if I speak for the rest of the people on this call, but me personally, getting satisfaction, seeing the relief in somebody within a matter of minutes, sometimes hours, sometimes days, no guarantees here, of course, but to see the relief from somebody, right, knowing that you're helping them with their pain or their condition that they've carried for maybe a day, a week, a month, years, you know, years. It's crazy. Yes, so great, fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. So swiftly moving on. Now I must bring this fella out, okay? I'm gonna bring out David next, okay? Here's a man from my hometown, Worcester, okay? He has his own gym, his own fitness center. He's one of the main key players in our organization. He's definitely in our top two. David Brown, in terms of the distribution that he's creating with this amazing opportunity, because it just simply works and he's just simply taking advantage of it. He saw it, it works, he's passionate about it, and he's just, you know, he's basically doing absolutely amazing work. He really is. I'm so proud of him. I really am. No marketing experience whatsoever, you know, and he's literally just thrown himself into it. So David, without further ado, just come off my screen sharing now so we can see our personal faces just a little bit closer. But after yourself, Dave, off you go, buddy.
Right, can you hear me, everyone?
Loud and clear.
Right, good afternoon to you all. Yeah, I've been involved now since February with this patching, and It's absolutely fantastic. The kick I get out of it is when I put a patch on someone and they get that instant relief. 30 seconds, they're going, what have you done? What did you do to me? And I said, I didn't do anything. I just put this patch on you, right? I got a little story of a lady who, she's 80 years old, and I think you may have already know about this lady. She goes to her surgeon, and the surgeon's about her neck, and she can't turn her head to the right. So the surgeon says to her, right, we could operate on you, but it may not work. And if it does, it might only be a slight movement. With that, he said to her, you're 80 years old, it goes with the territory. Here's some pills. Off you go. She comes in here, and considering she couldn't walk up my stairs to get into the gym, she was down on her hands and knees, crawling up there. She couldn't get on the bike. I had to pretty much lift her onto the bike so she could start exercising. The next day, after I patched her, she came in, she walked up the stairs, didn't crawl, she walked up the stairs. She got on the bike without my help, and this has been like now probably 2 months. Within a week, she was completely pain-free, moving her head backwards and forwards, upwards, downwards, and no problem whatsoever. I just can't wait for her to go back and see her surgeon, for him to get the wow factor from these patches. So I've got another story of, and it's my sister, in fact. She suffered for a long time with depression. And I've been patching my sister now for, what, again, probably 2, maybe 3 months. And she's made so much improvement, right, with her condition. She's got a toe that was hooked up like this, right? And even that started to straighten out now. So it's just magical. I don't know what else to say. It's just magic. Over to you, Jace.
What would you say to the skeptics, David? Because you do deal, let's be real, you do, even though you're a biggest monster in here, and I mean that in a good way, obviously, you do get a lot of skeptics, don't you? You get a lot of them. Every day you get them. But what do you say to people that are skeptics?
I get them. I do get them every single day. And here's one that came in, and he started talking to me about it. I patched him. He got the relief straight away. He then went away, come back 2 days later, and he stands there, and I said, how are you feeling now? And he went, well, I don't know if it was working. I don't know if it was in my head. I said, oh, right, okay, let me patch you again. So
go on, listen to this. Oh, yeah, go on, sorry.
I went, right, how do you feel now? Hang on, I've got somebody trying to call me here. Right, and I said, how do you feel now? He said, I don't feel any different. And I went, okay, we'll give it another couple of minutes. And then a couple of minutes went by, and I said, how do you feel? I don't feel any difference. So I said, well, you might as well take that corn plaster off that I just put on your back of your neck. Sorry, Jason, I got somebody trying to, I'll talk to you later. Right. Yeah, so I said, take this corn plaster off that I just put you on. So he took the corn plaster off his back and I said, is that what you put on my back of my neck? I said, I did this time just to prove to you it wasn't in your mind, right? So there I am now waiting for him to come back to buy some more patches. So that was one of the people that didn't believe anything about what he was getting. I've got other people coming in, 2 friends of mine, both of them with knee problems, right? Pain free after a month, right? They can't believe it. Another guy, he's had radiotherapy on his head. He had a big burn mark on his head from the radiotherapy. The scarring has reduced, right? It's faded so much. And even his girlfriend, who don't believe in this, is going, I can't. I just, what did you do? What have you given him? I said, I haven't given him anything. It's just a patch. So he's got phenomenal results. Jace?
David's got some amazing stories. Thank you for that, David, by the way. Absolutely awesome.
I can't hear any of you now for some reason.
It's okay. We can hear you, buddy. It's okay. They're all muted. Amazing stories there from David. 2, 3 amazing stories. And trust me.
Can't hear a thing, Jace.
Oh, okay. Let me find out why.
Can't hear you. If you're talking to me, I can't hear you.
Can everybody else hear me? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, David, maybe come out and then come back in if you can on the same link, if you can hear that, hopefully. Some amazing stories from David there, but trust me, this guy could tell you so many stories, because every single day people are going into his organization saying, I need some patches, and he's patching them up. So anybody that's watching David or anything like that, you know, there's obviously a valuable and valid reason why these people are going in every single day. He can't keep up with the stuff. His postman is his best friend at the moment, you know, but at the end of the day, he's helping so many people free them of their pain, of their physical condition. Yes, he's in the right position, but it's just, once again, it's like any opportunity. It's taking advantage, you know, taking advantage of it. Moving on forward to Paula Mergel, my partner, my business partner, my girlfriend. You know, this is our opportunity, of course. She's doing amazing work, of course, as well. You know, I'm sure she's going to share a couple of her stories also as well.
Hi, everybody. Hi, thanks, Jace. Hi, babe. Yeah, I just like the rest of us. I mean, one thing to point out to you guys is there's 6 of us on here, but trust me, there are hundreds and hundreds of testimonials everywhere of just how amazing this little patch is and exactly what it's doing all over the world. And we're just 6 people sharing with you. I'm getting interference. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really grateful to Jace, who, you know, asked me 4.5 months ago to take a look at this. And it was one of those, you know, light bulb moments. As soon as it...
Yeah, it's all good now.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of those light bulb moments. As soon as we saw, you know, what this patch can do, we just jumped straight in. And, you know, these people on here as well are all doing amazing. For me personally, you know, it's so rewarding to see just what it's doing to so many people, but it's really touched home. I don't know if any of you have seen my story, but in regards to my mum, you know, for years, mum has suffered with really, really bad shoulder and arm pain after an injury. She's 73 years of age. And, you know, when I put this patch on her shoulder and within 2 days, you know, mum wasn't able to lift her shoulder, you know, anywhere near shoulder height. She couldn't put her clothes on. It got to a point she was on some seriously heavy medications, painkillers, one in particular, endone, which is almost morphine anyway. And, you know, her body was becoming sick because of all the toxins that these painkillers were putting into her system. But no kidding, you know, this patch had her in tears, because within day 2, she had, the pain had gone, almost gone. And what happened was that she was able to get off the endone on the 3rd day. And by the 7th day, her range of movement, guys, I kid you not, in front of my own eyes, had gone right above her head, and she burst into tears. So, you know, to see your parent, you know, literally break down in tears out of joy and elation from, you know, the relief of the pain, and to see this little patch do its magic was amazing. So mum's a new woman. She said to me, I'm not getting off this patch. It's here for life. You know, she has a lot more energy as well, and hasn't had any pain in her shoulder whatsoever. For me, I can't speak highly enough about it either. It's helped me in so many ways. I feel, you know, like a 20-year-old at the moment, not just the energy levels, but I also suffered from bad sciatica in the last 18 months. And after a fall, I had quite a bad hip and lower back pain. I mean, Jace, I used to always complain to him, you know, how bad the pain used to be at one point. I couldn't even walk up the stairs, and now I'm literally walking up hills. So, you know, it's just amazing to think that this little patch that has nothing in it, you know, it works off our own body heat, is doing all this to so many people. And the biggest boost, the biggest thing for me is the energy levels. You know, about 15 months ago, I had to also go undergo some radiotherapy treatment. So my energy levels were quite, you know, depleted. I was taking cat naps throughout the day constantly. It just, you know, it wasn't there for me. And now, honestly, it's just amazing. It's just so much more energy and vitality. And I'm truly grateful. But it's just rewarding to hear everyone's stories, you know, not just us, like I said, so many people. And we truly do have something amazing here. And I'm truly grateful to Jace and everybody else that's on this journey with me, because we are changing people's lives. And, you know, for all the skeptics out there, honestly, if I can say anything from my personal experience, or the people on the panel here, you know, if you're on any type of medication, or you're suffering with some sort of pain, you know, we're not saying it cures anything, but they certainly are working as far as pain relief goes, and so many other benefits. Give it a go. Try it. You know, it's so much better than these pain, you know, medications that most people are on. And there is another solution, and it's a natural one. You know, drug-free, no chemicals, as Jace was saying, and it's working on so many levels. The biggest bonus for me is that it's regenerating so much in our system. I also had some pretty bad scarring from an operation that I had. No kidding. The scars, you can hardly see them now. So, you know, yeah, I'm taking it with me, you know, when I'm gone. I'm on it for life, guys. So, yeah. Hello. I can go on, but I'll, sorry?
You're muted.
Right, okay, there you go. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, amazing story. I was just saying, you know, you've got some amazing testimonials. It's great to hear about your mom, the fact that she couldn't lift her shoulder for so many years, you know, and within 24, 48 hours, you know, she was able to do that. You know, it's absolutely incredible. You know, once again, for those of you watching this and watching the replay, you're hearing some genuine, amazing stories here. You know, we want to get this message out to the world. We've just tapped into China, I believe, as well. So I'd love to get into China if we've got any people in that market. I've just seen we've got a couple of people on the call from that country. And I know, obviously, you guys are well into your medicine and your natural remedies, etc. So it's one of my main goals this next month is to tap into that market, because it's absolutely incredible. At the end of the day, this is going to be extremely useful to certain types of people, you know, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Thank you for an amazing story, babe. Well done, Paula. Sorry, well done, Paula. Okay, this is a business call, Jason. This is a business call.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Right, okay, so moving on, last and certainly not least, you know, he's literally doing really well in this industry, in this business. He's had some time out, he's come back, etc. But, you know, he's getting some great, fantastic joy, you know, from his testimonials of his individual team members that are doing well, his customers, etc. I'd like to introduce Mr. John Bone. Go, buddy.
Hi guys. Right, so yeah, I mean, I was introduced to this, or I saw Jace briefly speaking about this on the 3rd of February. Well, probably the 1st of February, and I got in his inbox because by day I'm a window cleaner. I've been a window cleaner for the last 11 years. I've been, you know, it's a physical job, a repetitive job, do it day in and day out. And I had intense shoulder pain and lower back pain for about the last 2 or 3 years. So the minute I saw Jace briefly mention something about a new invention that he had found, I got in his inbox. I got the information. I checked it out over a couple of days. And on Sunday night, I made my order because I am an open-minded kind of guy. I want to try things. I'm done with taking pills and potions and all this other, sorry to be blunt, but all this other rubbish that we're given. You know, we are fortunate here in the UK that we, you know, we have the amazing NHS and it's an amazing organisation. But the fact that we get all these drugs for free, I personally feel is a bit of a tough one. I've got a customer base in my day job of over 500 customers. Now, I've been working for these guys for 10, 11 years. I've got to know pretty much each and every one of them personally, and I've seen it day in and day out. You know, I hear of people's stories about the complications that they're having with taking different kinds of drugs and the issues that they're having because of that. So I was already open-minded to trying something new. So I got my new patches, and, you know, we haven't actually shown you what they look like yet, but here they are. Okay, this is what they look like. They're tiny little things. You have no idea how powerful these little things are. But I patched myself when I went out to my day job. As soon as I got them, put one on the lower back of my neck, and hang on, let me just shut down my messenger. And within a couple of hours, I noticed that my shoulder pain had gone down by about 80%. Now, oh, shut that down again. Now, that was all great. And I was kind of thinking, you know, crikey, if this carries on like this, where could this go? Within a couple of days, I realised that my lower back pain had gone altogether. Now, I'm a sceptical kind of guy, just like the majority of us. I'm as sceptical as the next guy. But that's why I was willing to try it, because these patches come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't at least try them, right? So once I had that result, I thought, right, the next thing I've got to do is I've got to try the most skeptical lady I know in my life, and that is my beautiful wife. Okay, she's an academic lady. She doesn't take anything for granted. She likes to know the details. She likes to know all the scientific side of things. But I said, look, you've got an issue with your knee. She's got osteoarthritis in her right knee, very little cartilage left. She was actually told just before Christmas that she's going to probably be on the queue for a knee replacement in the next couple of years. Now, we're active. We like to go skiing. We like to go out on our boat and water skiing, and we're very fortunate that we can do those things. And she has issues all the time. So we started patching her knee, and she started to get an incredible result with it. Less pain. She was used to taking things like, you know, very high-powered drugs and getting all those side effects, which we won't go into here because they're a bit nasty. But she had a fantastic result. I then started patching my 80-year-old mother, who lives here with us. She's got a beautiful little annex out in the back garden. Now, my mother had major heart surgery last year, and it was a tough time. She came, up until that point, she'd never taken a drug in her life. She's very healthy, 80-year-old. She's active. She's always out and about. I don't know how she does it. But obviously, after this very serious operation, it slowed her down. And so I was really interested to see what this patch could do to her. Yes, she was taking all kinds of medications. She was on all kinds of stuff that, you know, piles and piles of this stuff that she'd been given post-op, which is the norm, okay? But she has very serious arthritis in her knuckles, in her hands, in her wrist, in her shoulder. Started patching her. This was probably sort of middle to the third quarter of February, and she got a great result. You know, she was feeling less pain in her wrist, less pain in her knuckles. She was actually able to unscrew bottles, which she hadn't been able to do for a good few years. So this was just the proof that I needed to then go and take it to a wider audience. And I've got so many stories to share with you guys. You know, we could be on here for hours. So I'm just going to try and pick a few of the really important ones that we've experienced over the last 4 months. And I'm going to try and keep it together, because this has, without a doubt, been the most liberating thing that I've done in 13 years. I've always had sidelines. I like to call myself an entrepreneurial window cleaner. I've always had sidelines. I've always done other sideline businesses, online, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, all kinds of stuff. So I understand that, you know, we are prepared to share this incredible patch with as many people as we possibly can. And, you know, it's not about making money, because, like I said, this has become liberating. I've shared it with literally hundreds. We're probably getting close to our first 1,000, I wouldn't be surprised, in not only my personal connections with my online friends, but I've also shared it with each and every one of my customers in my day job. We've got some incredible people in our team, in our group, who are also sharing it, and they're dotted all over the world. We've got Linda, who was here earlier. You know, she had a phenomenal result. Her husband had a phenomenal result. My wife, my mum. We went down to southern Germany last year. My wife actually comes from Slovakia, so we all had a fantastic Easter together down in South Germany, and we patched my mother-in-law. Now, my mother-in-law has had an issue with her right shoulder for years. She can't actually raise her, like Paula's mum, she can't actually raise her shoulder much more than that. So we started patching her. I started patching my wife's uncles, my wife's cousins, all of us. We were all getting patched during this Easter holiday. But my mother-in-law, without a doubt, had the best result out of all of us. And we did a Facebook Live, which, you know, we've shared in the group. We've got it in our group. And that was just, again, a very emotional day to see that these things have worked for so many people. Customers, let me talk just briefly about a friend of mine who I've known for many years. He's an ex-soldier like myself, but he's been in a very dark place for many years. And I did a Facebook Live a few weeks ago and completely broke down because that's what it meant to me. But Rob, he's had serious issues. I'm not going to get into the detail, but it's just to say that he's been in a very dark place for many, many years. And I've personally been supplying him with these patches. And he has come out of himself. He hasn't been on holiday for 6 years. He hasn't cut his own grass for donkey's years. He's now cut his grass, which may seem ridiculous to you guys, but for him, it's a massive thing. He's just booked a holiday with his family. They're going away to Turkey. And like I say, when you get these stories coming in, left, right, and centre, it is just the most liberating thing. Now, we're not promoting this as a business that you've got to share this. You know, this isn't about this. This is about just trying them. Just get some patches. The 30-day money back guarantee should give you confidence. You know, if you don't feel a result, fantastic. Go and ask for your money back. They'll do that. But give these patches a go, guys. That's all I can say. I've rambled on for too long as usual, but you know, just give them a go. That's all I've got to say, guys.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm gonna unmute everybody else as well, actually, if they want to butt in and say something, because I don't want to be the main controller of this call or look like the main controller. Anybody want to say anything in response to that?
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, John, great stories there, and you know, your emotion says it all. And I think with these patches, we all agree they have to be tried to be believed, because so many people, as you say, and as David said earlier, are skeptics, you know. But until you actually patch yourself and you start to feel and see the difference, that's where the miracle is. So, you know, you've got nothing to lose, guys, but so much to gain, you know, in regards to our health. It really is. And we're just so grateful that this has come our way. So like John said, give it a go. Absolutely. And, you know, there's so much about, you know, everyone on here has more than, you know, one or two stories. But as I said, it's changing so many lives, and I couldn't be more grateful.
30-day money back guarantee. There's no excuse for anybody. With a 30-day money back guarantee, there's no excuse whatsoever. Okay? If you're in pain and you want to get out of that pain and you haven't got the money, you'll find somebody to borrow that money, okay, so you can try it. And if you're not happy, you can get a refund within 30 days. I'm sorry to be blunt, but that is the reality of it. Yeah, I'm just thinking of some of my conversations I have with David, with some of his customers, as to you know, why they can't possibly have it. You know, there is literally no excuse for anybody. If they are in pain, you can't put a price on pain. You cannot put a price on your life, on your pain, on your condition. So I'm going to use one of David's saying, which is such a true saying. If you don't want to help your pain or manage your pain or look for an alternative, then live with it. It's up to you to live with it. If you're happy to live with it and not try an alternative, that's obviously down to yourself for you to make that choice in the nicest possible way and with the greatest respect, of course. Okay, there's no harm in trying something for the very first time, especially with the 30-day money back guarantee. John's story is amazing. You know, He's an ex-army soldier. I've got many friends in ex-army soldiers as well. So I know a bit of, not personally myself, but you know, I can relate to the depression, and he's been through an amazing journey. You know, for him to share that amazing story as well, and you know, you can see straight away there's the emotion there. There's no acting here. Okay, you can see this is a real testimonial, real people all over the world having their lives changed because they simply made a decision to try something, try an alternative to what's already not working possibly. So did you want to say something, John? I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say that the thing is that we're all conditioned, right? We're all conditioned into a certain way of thinking. We're all taught to think in a certain way, although you may not realize it. You know, we're all taught to believe one thing opposed to the other. So I just say, try and look at this with an open mind. Just try and, you know, yes, there is a cost to these patches, but they're so worth it, guys. They are so worth it because we've had just too many positive results now for that not to be the case. My wife, you know, when we went skiing and we did our Facebook Live testimonial, she would never get on a Facebook or on a video for me to do a testimonial. But sitting in that cable car, and after the results she had when we was on our holiday in Austria, this is going back to February, you know, that just proved to me that if someone that I know personally, who is a very skeptical lady, is open-minded to this, then I think everyone, without a doubt, every single person in the world needs to at least experience these patches. And that's what we're trying to do with these lives. We're trying to show you that, you know, we have found something and we're just passionate about sharing it far and wide. So, yeah, that wasn't kind of saying. That was kind of what I wanted to get out. Cheers, mate.
No problem. Valid point. Go on, babe. Paula.
Another thing from what John was saying too, for any of you out there that are worried that might be on medication, for example, like my mum was, because our patches are non-transdermal, meaning there's no ingredients, you know, nothing that is in the patch, you can actually put the patch on, obviously still be on your medication. There are no contraindications, meaning it's not going to interfere with your medication. That's key, guys. So ideally, while you're taking your medication, try our patch. And guess what? Worst thing that can happen, let's say it doesn't work, keep taking your medication. Best scenario, it will work. And eventually you'll be weaned off your medication like my mum has been. Right now, everyone's situation is different, but that's the beauty of this patch. You don't have to stop what you're doing at the moment. It's going to enhance it and improve, you know, your situation where eventually you can come off this toxic medication. You know, my brother in the UK, I know what John was saying earlier, you guys apparently are different to Australia here, but I believe you do get medication, all that for free, etc. He is now going under some serious he has serious at the moment liver and kidney problems because the doctors kept giving him a medication and weren't monitoring it. They kept prescribing it for nearly 15 months, and it has literally destroyed his liver, which is quite serious, right? He was taking it thinking, yep, okay, it's going to cure this, it's going to cure that, lost in the system, and it's actually damaged his liver. That's just one story. I'm sure people know lots more. So it's just, yeah, crazy.
You know what? That's an incredible point, babe. Paula, that's an incredible point. And the reason why that's an incredible point is because one of the first things that people think of straight away when they see this and hear about it is the people that are already on medication, by the way. One of the first things that people think about is this going to affect my medication that I'm already on? No, quite simple, okay, because there's nothing in these patches, okay. So that's a very valid point that Paula just made there. Absolutely, extremely valid, because you may share this with your neighbor or your friend, for example, and I guarantee you 100% if they're on any medication, that's the first thought that's going to go into their head within the first 5 seconds, okay. So do not be put off by that. There is nothing in these patches. David, is there anything else that you would like to add at all?
No, it's just been fantastic listening to the stories. Brilliant.
Great. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. Now, just to finish off, We do have a fantastic group. We set up a private Facebook group. We set it up a few months ago, which is very active, and some constructive information in there about the business, about the patches, okay, because it's not just one patch that we're talking about here. There's several that do several other things. So in terms of support, if you were looking to join this organization, not just to fix your own personal physical condition, you may be a marketer, for example. You may know a few people that do have a physical condition and you want to sort them out. This company does offer a great compensation plan. It might be up your alley in terms of that. Obviously, our direction is obviously to get this message shared across so people can benefit and manage their pain. So we have a private Facebook group. It's very, very supportive. Some of these individuals on these courses here as well, they have their own private Facebook group as well. We have a main private Facebook group where we do lots of lives in there, with lots of testimonials. We've got incredible amount of video testimonials. Okay, we've got some special landing pages being built for us as well. So you're not just joining an organization. If you are thinking of joining this opportunity, you're also joining the person behind it also as well. That may be myself, that may be David Brown, that may be Linda, that may be Paula, that may be Lisa Anderson, all the way from the USA. Who does consistent lives also as well about this because she's passionate, and obviously John Bone as well. Okay, so you will be joining a fantastic organization, so please bear that in mind. The purpose of this call obviously is to get the message out that this is a patch that can go on your skin or on an item of clothing that David mentioned again the other day, where do you want to just quick Dave, do you want to just quickly tell that story that you told me the other day? I haven't shared this with the group yet, actually, to be fair.
Which one was that? The muscle testing?
Yeah. And if you could try and, it's just the echo. If you could try and speak up just a little bit, buddy, just so you're coming through.
I've had to switch to a different thing. I keep going offline here for some reason.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but I was watching a video where the guy was testing the muscles, and it was like bringing another guy's feet together, right, while he's resisting it, right, and he did all his testing. He brought the guy's feet together quite easily. As soon as he put on a certain patch, well, two patches, and you guys will know it, he laid it on the couch, didn't even stick it on his skin, and then went through those tests again and brings it together.
Yeah, you're fading out, David, unfortunately, buddy.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right. It's all right. It's coming in and out. I'll basically run through it for you, mate, because it's fading in and out.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got some headphones there, David. No.
Okay. Well, basically, what David's trying to say is we basically got introduced to a video where there was a top physio for a top team in America. I'm not going to reveal the name, okay, because I'm not allowed to. But there was a top physio who had a player, I nearly said football player then, even though it wasn't, all right? He had a player on a table, okay, and he had a condition with his legs, right, with his muscles, and he couldn't open his legs and he couldn't lift his legs up or down, okay. So what this physio did, got one of our patches, well, he got two of them rather, and he put them on the table. He didn't place them on the skin, he put them on the table. Now, before he did that, he went through a mental condition. He went through various exercises, and the guy had no strength in his legs. This physio was explaining to an audience, a group of people, and he was explaining why this athlete was going through this condition, okay? So anyway, he put these patches on the table, okay, not on the skin, on the table, and left it there for literally 30 or 40 seconds and went through the same process with the exercises, and the guy was restraining. The guy was using the strength in his legs, and this physio could not lift his legs up or down, and he couldn't open them or close them because the guy was there's a certain word that you use, Dave, restraining or I think it was, okay, from actually that exercise going ahead. So it just goes to show how powerful these patches are. You know, they don't necessarily need to go on the skin. They can go on clothing, okay? Remember this, we're testing light therapy here. If you know how the sun works, obviously phototherapy. So this is a truly scientific groundbreaking invention. It really is, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be sharing that video. You just reminded me, David, also as well. I'll be sharing that in the group. So like I said, we've got a fantastic private Facebook group. If you want to be added to that group and say, look, can I just be added so I can take a look around? That's your option there also as well. Unless we've got lots of people on the call. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask any questions, because we will be sort of finishing off in the next sort of 5 minutes or so. As I can see, we've got lots on the call, which is great. So the message is, you know, pretty simple, clear here. Okay, you can't put a price on your life and your condition. Okay, it's a patch that goes on the body. Okay, no chemicals, no products. Okay, no side effects. Okay, this is a chance for you to get yourself out of your pain, or maybe share this with somebody else that is in pain or does have a condition. Of course, again, we're not giving you any guarantees, but it's a bit coincidental at the moment, because every single person that's trying this patch is getting some type of result in some way, shape or form. Some people are getting fantastic results within seconds. Some people are getting fantastic results within a few minutes, within a few hours, within a couple of days. It's always good to stay the course, of course, with anything that you try, because then obviously you're not giving yourself a fair shot at it as well. Okay, so we've got lots of people on the call. So I'll just quickly go through who's on the call. So we've got Sharon on the call, who made an inquiry last night as well. Thanks for your inbox, Sharon. I'll get back to you on that. We've got Karen. We've got Joe Wallen on the call. We've got Santa on the call. We've got Brian Home on the call also as well, who says hello, everybody. Thanks, Brian, for coming on. This app here that I'm using, it's not completely up to date, so I'm literally going on my phone. The reason why I'm doing this is I'm just checking if there are any questions from anybody. There's nothing worse than coming off a live and people are asking questions when you come off it. Unless anybody else wants to say anything, I've just unmuted everybody. Okay, John, you need to unmute yourself, buddy.
I thought you said
I've tried to unmute Lisa, but Lisa's muted herself, so I can't.
No, I think we've covered it all, mate. I think we've shared enough testimonials, and like I say, we've got enough information and enough great testimonials outside of just us six, because it isn't just about us six. Anyone who you might see this Facebook Live on their timeline, chances are they also that. So make sure you get back to those guys, or those guys' friends, or whoever you see that is sharing this video is quite possibly using the patches, so they are also interested in sharing it with everybody. So just wanted to make that point, wherever you might be seeing this being shared.
Great, fantastic. So that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the call. We've had lots of people on the call. We've had a real huge number of people that have come on this call half an hour ago, and they've stayed on, the majority of them, which is absolutely great. So you were obviously interested and like what you're seeing. So John's give the final message, which I couldn't have put it better myself for sure. So I'm going to end the call in literally 10 seconds. Take care of yourself, guys, and each other. Remember, especially seeing this video, remember, before you complain, always remember there's somebody worse off than you, okay? And of course, especially after you've watched this video, as I always say in my lives, excuses always, don't they, sound best to those that are making up, okay? Thank you so much for listening. Those watching the replay, thank you also as well for listening. Bye-bye. I'll keep waving. Bye-bye.